in lobby, other people's. Nobody is
Yes,
waiting in lobby.
absolutely. No, there's currently no one in the lobby, so I think we should start. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So, hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar, which is Understanding the Latest Updates to the IATF 16949 Rules 6th edition. My name is Naman Tandon from the BSI marketing team, and I'm here to facilitate this session. Now, I'm going to start with the ground rules, if I can have the next slide. So everyone here is joined in a muted mode, which means that you should hear all of our panelists clearly. If you experience any technical difficulties, please let us know via the chat. We encourage you to ask questions. Please ask us anything using the questions box. If we can't hear them all, we will definitely respond to you after the webinar. This session is being recorded, and after the webinar, we will send you the recording.
Naman, sorry to disturb you. People are
Yes.
not able to listen you actually. I am able to listen you. Have you started the
Okay.
meeting?
Yes.
Just
I
check.
hope I'm clear.
You are clear. We
If I
can listen
can,
you, but there is a feedback from my colleagues from office that they are unable to hear you properly.
sure. What I can do is,
बोल दूंगा महेश सर को बोल दो tell them to
Are we audible, colleagues from office?
yes. So I think everyone, I just took feedback from my colleagues, and I think I'm audible. If whoever's facing this problem, can they please try to rejoin the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sure. So now I'd like to start with as I just conveyed my guidelines, I'm going to, as some people could not hear me, I'm just going to repeat myself. You're all in muted mode. We encourage you to ask questions through the Q&A box. Our speakers will answer as many questions as possible at the end of the session. If we run out of time, we will provide responses after the webinar. This session is being recorded and you will receive the recording after the webinar. Now, I'd like to start with our speaker introductions. We are honored today to have with us highly experienced professionals in the automotive industry, bringing decades of expertise in training, auditing, and management system standards. As we see on the screen, Mr. Mahesh Malpathak, he's the business head of BSI India West Region. He brings more than 28 years of experience, 20 years in training, assessment, and certifications, and 8 years in manufacturing. He's with BSI for more than 15 years as business head and previously as regional operations manager. He's also been the production engineer and lead auditor and tutor for IATF 16949, ISO 22301, 45001, 14001, and 9001. He's conducted over 3,500 audits and 500 plus trainings across EMEA, which is the EMEA region, Americas, and APAC countries. He's also the global witness auditor and veto reviewer for automotive scheme for 18 years. And along with this, he's also been the head of automotive for IMETA, which is India, Middle East, Turkey, and Africa. We're really excited to have you, Mr. Mahesh.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce our second speaker, which is Mr. Jitendra Singh. He is the head of mobility from BSI IMETA. He has more than 12 years of experience in the automotive industry with over 8 years in training and auditing management system standards. He's conducted over 1,500 plus man days of audits of IATF 16949, ISO 9001, CQI, and second party audits. He delivered 25 plus training sessions in core tools, SPC, MSA, AIAG, VDA, FMEA, APQP, PPAP. He's proficient in IATF OEM customer specific requirements. He's also an IATF technical reviewer, internal witness auditor, and internal system auditor for IATF 16949. His qualifications are BTech Mechanical, MBA, along with the Six Sigma Black Belt. We're really excited to have you here, Mr. Jitendra. Please
Thank you,
join
Naman.
us in welcoming Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Jitendra as they share their invaluable insights today. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through the agenda. We are going to talk about BSI, followed by a poll. Then we'll continue to gain knowledge about IATF and its global spread, followed by a poll. And then we will move on to the new IATF scheme management rules, followed by another poll. And we will end the session with the Q&A. So now I'd like to request Mr. Mahesh to take over now and continue with his insights.
Thank you, Naman. Good morning to all the participants from India as well as EMEA region, and good afternoon to my Asia Pacific teammates as well as the participants who have joined. Thank you so much. I would like to start something about BSI. BSI, as you must be aware, is a royal charter established in 1901. So we have completed almost 124 years. And though it is owned by the royal charter, it's a non-profit organization. That does not mean that we don't earn the profit, but we reinvest the profit into the same business of preparing the standards. So BSI is one of the oldest standard writing body in the world. We have written more than 59,000 plus standards related to the product, processes, and system. What BSI does, BSI will anticipate the future challenges, future problems. They will design the system to control those particular challenges. Plus, they will add some best practices across the globe and they will publish the standard, which is normally known as the British standards. That standards will be validated for 7 to 8 years in the market. And after validation, it will be taken over by the various organizations like ISO. Okay, that is International Organization for Standardization. Okay, so BSI is the first national standard body of United Kingdom. BSI is also a founder member of ISO. Okay, that was in 1947. Of course, number one in standard writing, training, and the certifications. We have 87 offices in 31 countries. Our footprint exists, our client exists in 194 countries across the globe. You can see the map. We exist in America, we exist in Europe, we exist in African countries, we exist in Russia, China, as well as all the Asia Pacific countries. Okay, we have 5,500 colleagues, well supported by our extended arms, like our empaneled resources, 12,200. We have 84,000 customers worldwide, more than 300,000 sites we have certified so far. In training, we conduct 35,000 courses on an average per year, 200,000 candidates, delegates we train. 53% of Fortune 500 companies treat BSI as a brand for certification, and same is the case with the London Stock Exchange client. 83% client from London Stock Exchange, 80% from Japan Stock Exchange clients are certified by BSI. So BSI is one of the biggest or largest brand of certification trainings and standard writing across the globe. Okay, here you can see a spread of our assessors and tutors globally. Okay, so we exist in each and every corner of the world to serve our clients to our best. Let it be a standard, let it be assessment, or let it be a training. So BSI operates into 4 verticals. First vertical is knowledge solutions, where we create the standard and we share the standards. The sharing of standard is also available online, British Standards Online, that is bsol.com. So you can be a member of that particular and access n number of standards through that particular website, and also the updates about the standard. Second vertical is the assurance services, which comprises of system certification, trainings, internal and supplier audit. Third vertical is the regulatory services, which handles medical devices, artificial intelligence certification, and product certification. And the fourth vertical is the consulting services, which provides assessment, advice, implementation, continual improvement, sort of advisory services. Okay, but that only exists in Americas. We don't operate these consulting services outside Americas. We are leader in training. We are proud to say that we are leader in training. BSI offers variety of courses like awareness courses, implementation courses, certified lead implementation courses, internal auditor courses, lead auditor courses, and BSO courses, covering all these standards which normally we deliver, we have written, or we have providing training and certification against which. And there are different types of training BSI provides in a unique way. First is the in-person training, which is on-site training. Second is the virtual training. Training is conducted from one corner of the world and it has been relayed live. Okay. Third is on-demand training, very popular. You can attend as per your convenience. And fourth is the webinar. Webinar is a sort of services we provide to actually propagate the knowledge of the standards across the globe. Okay. And similarly, we are having one sort of webinar today for making the world aware about the Rule 6 as per as IATF 16949 is concerned. When we say that we are pioneer of ISO series of standards, you can see the screen. Okay, very popular standard of today, ISO 9001. Everyone is aware that 2015 version is on. Okay, but this particular standard was written by and published by BSI as a BS 5750 in 1979. Okay, that was validated in the market, and then in 1987 it was published as the 9001. And all of you are aware that based on this ISO 9001, ISO 13485, which is the medical devices standard, IATF 16949, okay, all of you are aware about this, was prepared, and also ASEM 9100, that is aeronautical standards, is published. Okay, so you can clearly say that BSI is the originator of almost all popular ISO series of standards. Below are the examples mentioned, like Environmental Management System, ISO 14001, which was formally released by ISO in 1996. It was published by BSI in 1992. Okay, when I say that BSI actually anticipates the future challenges and then design the standard to mitigate those particular challenges through the system, okay, the ISO 27001 is the best example. You can see that today, the moment we came across any news, the information security or cyber security is the buzzword today. But this particular challenge of today was anticipated by BSI in 1995 and published. The standard was published called as the BS 7799, which was actually around information security. Okay, so that shows that BSI actually thinks about the future, and our main task is this only, to write the standard. So we have various themes and sectors where we focus. So sectors, if we focus here, we have built environment, energy, food and retail, government, healthcare, ICT, manufacturing, transport and mobility, about which we are going to have a webinar today. And we have themes called as the digital trust, sustainability, health and safety, quality management and business excellence, organizational governance, risk and compliance. So it comprises of various standards which are actually required for society as well as industry. In case of IATF, BSI is one of the certification body, okay, one of the few certification body which is accredited for IATF 16949. We provide our IATF certification services in 55 countries. Our range covers global tier 1 suppliers to the smaller specialist, small size of organization as well. We have a global team of experienced auditors across all the disciplines. BSI has a connect portal facility where all the organizations, all our clients can access their audit related data, including reports and certificates directly. BSI also provides the TISAC, which is a very recent standard driven by the German accreditation board. Okay, so we provide those certification as well. BSI has a hybrid audit program for other standard certification because IATF 16949 does not provide any facility of hybrid auditing. It's on-site auditing or remote auditing in some exceptional cases. But for other standards other than IATF 16949, we have hybrid audit program where it provides a lot of convenience to the client as far as certification is concerned. And you can see that our automotive client base, you can see all the top notches, top OEMs, then tier 1 suppliers, tier 2 suppliers across the globe, or some of the brands are from India as well. Those are actually with BSI for the various certifications, including IATF 16949 and other related standards like sustainability as well. In short, for more than 120 years, BSI has benefited the world in a profound and unique way. Our independence, global reach, and access to leading edge experts sets us apart from all the competitors. Due to the unique way we have incorporated, we reinvest our profits to foster progress and partnership, increasing trust between consumers, governments, and organizations. And third and most important, our mission is to help businesses and society thrive together, accelerating the progress towards a fair society and a sustainable world, which is our motto, which is our mission, and which is our purpose as well. Okay, with this, we are heading for poll number 1, and the question is very interesting. Are you an existing BSI client for IATF certification? Okay, so my request, Naman, can you please run the poll and let us know the results?
Sure, I'm just launching the poll now. You'll have around 30 seconds to complete it. I hope it's visible on everyone's screen.
Yes.
Number hands are being raised by the people. See if there is any technical flaw. Those who are facing problem, can you put it in the chat in case if it is a problem? If it is a question, then definitely it will be taken care at the end of the webinar.
So, sir, we've recorded the results from this poll, which is, are you an existing BSI client for IATF certification? 72% voted yes, 25% voted no, and 3% voted yes, but for another certification or training.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Is there any technical problem people facing? Can you just go through the chats? In case those are there, we'll wait for a minute to resolve those.
Sure, sir.
There
I
are 12
would
hands.
say if anyone's facing any technical difficulty, please write it on the chat or rejoin.
Yeah, just okay. Shall I carry on, Naman?
Yes, please, sir. Please carry on.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about IATF, International Automotive Task Force. It's a group of 11 OEMs. That is, those are also called as the scheme owners. These 11 OEMs comprises of BMW, Mercedes, Ford, Geely, General Motors, Renault, Stellantis, Tata, VW, Iveco, and Volvo Group. And there are 5 national associations called NFIA, FIEV, AIAG, SMMT, and VDA. Okay, these all together form 5 oversight offices, which is ANFIA, FIEV, IOB, SMMT, and VDA. And these 5 oversight offices actually run this particular scheme through various certification agencies. So any certification agency who want to go for IATF certification, who want to deliver IATF certification or services related to IATF, has to be accredited by any one of these oversight offices, whether it is NFIA, FIB, IOB, or SMMT, or VDA. Now, if you look at the spread of IATF 16949 certification across the globe, you can see that in North America comprises of 6,264 certificates. So it is 6.64% of certificates are basically issued in North America. Then in Europe, it is 11.69, total 11,024 certificates. Okay. Middle East, it's very less percentage, 2.22, because not much automotive base. Okay. Turkey is 1,180 out of 2,091. Africa, it is 610, that is 0.65%. And you can see the Asia Pacific on right side. Okay. Leading the front with 72,860 certificates. So overall total 77%. China leading the top, leading the table, 53,076 certificates. Second number is India. If you look at the entire scenario, entire number, India is number 2 as well as, but there is a huge difference between number 1 and number 2 as well. Okay. So this is how this particular standard is popular across the globe. And let me tell you, this particular, whatever figures I'm showing, it is of Q1 2024 officially. Okay. So definitely over the period of last almost 1 year, there must have been a significant increase in this particular certification numbers. Okay, poll 2. Do you have a copy of Rule 6th edition? Okay, let me tell you, all of you which are actually attending this particular course. In last edition of Rule 5th, it was not mandatory to have this copy of Rule 5th, but this particular Rule 6 is impacting certain aspects of clients as well. So it is always desirable to have the copy of 6 standards. So currently, how many of you are there who possess this particular copy of 6th edition? Over to you, Naman, for the poll.
Absolutely. I'm just going to be launching the poll now. You would be able to see it on your screens. We'll wait for 10 seconds more. Yes. So Mahisha, the response is around 21% of the people say yes, they have a copy. Around 76% people say no, they don't have a copy. 1% people say they have a copy on order, and another 1% people are uncertain as to why they would need it. And there is a mixed response on the chat.
Okay, but 76% of the people will definitely gain some knowledge of this particular rule 6, which are actually related to the client through this particular webinar. And definitely the question why they should have a copy of this particular standard, okay, will be automatically answered once they go through this particular webinar. So thank you, Naman. With this, I will proceed to actual rules. Okay, so new IATF scheme management rules are basically the rules which governs the certification of this particular standard. And the copy of these rules is available on industryforum.co.uk. You can purchase from there, or iatfglobaloversight.org. All the client can purchase from there. So Rule 6 edition was formally published from 1st of January 2025. The timeline effective date for implementation was also for January 2025. And IATF IAIB conducted a webinar about this particular standards for certification agency on 18th of June, 26th of September, and 19th of November. And you can see that material related to this particular knowledge, the webinar links and everything is available on the Global Oversight website of iatfglobaloversight.org. Okay. Now let's talk about what exactly it changed for the client. Okay. Now surveillance and certification audit cycle window is changed. If people remember rule 5th for surveillance, the rule was very clear. Okay. So if your surveillance frequency is 6 months, okay, you can conduct that particular audit -1 or +1 month. So you are allowed to cross 1 month and you can conduct -1 to retain your certificate. Second, if your surveillance frequency is 9 months, the window was -2 month +1 month. And if the frequency was 12 months, the window was -3 months +1 month. Now in rule 6, it is very clear that the window is only of, the frequency is only of 12 months and the window provided is -3 months, which is same as that of rule 5th. But interestingly, there's a +3 months provided. Okay, so you can cross that particular window by 3 months. The window has been increased to the 6 months, -3 +3 months. So for surveillance audit cycle, it's -3 months +3 months. For recertification audit cycle, it remains same, that -3 months +0 months. Okay, and in case some client exceed this particular window, okay, a certification body will cancel the certificate within 7 calendar days. Okay, again I will repeat. Now the frequency for surveillance audit is only 12 months. The window available is -3 months +3 months. Okay. For recertification, there is no change. Window available is -3 months +0 month. And if you exceed, certification body will cancel the certificate within 7 calendar days. In case of audit planning, in Rule 5 was very clear that request client provides audit planning prior to the audit. Okay, you must be getting request for certain information prior to the audit, and it was not mandatorily mentioned that how early you should provide that particular information. The requirement was only prior to the audit you should provide. Second requirement was identify a minimum of 1 hour on site prior to the opening meeting for verification of data and the changes to the current customer and internal performance data, including a review of current online customer reports and or customer scorecard. So there was a pre-planning meeting, okay, pre-audit meeting 1 hour before the opening meeting, okay, to check the entire data which is submitted by the client prior to the audit. And this 1 hour is in addition to the specified audit days. This was not part of those 8 hours of audit. That was a requirement in Rule 6. Now let's see what change it has brought in Rule 6. Okay. So request client provides audit planning input not less than 30 calendar days prior to the audit. Very important requirement. So that particular pre-audit information client has to submit 30 days, at least 30 days before the audit. If you don't submit, audit will be postponed. Okay, CB shall provide for a minimum of 0.5 day for audit preparation and planning. This time shall not be included in the audit duration. So there will be a 0.5 audit day extra for audit planning other than your on-site audit days. This is the additional time to the specified audit days. Opening meeting with top management. A presence of top management is, last time it was a desirable, now it is mandatory, covering the verification of changes to the client information supplied for audit planning, including a review of current customer reports and or scorecards from the original source, that is customer portals, emails from customers, etc., where they are available for the locations which is being audited. So all this data will be verified during the opening meeting. Okay. An audit day shall not exceed 10 hours. Okay. So 8 hours are for your normal audit and 2 hours you can cover the shifts. Additional audit time. When the audited client location does not meet the IATF OEM quality or delivery targets specified in the IATF OEM scorecard submitted with audit planning information and or the current scorecard reviewed in the opening meeting, the certification body shall add additional audit time to the current audit plan as defined in the table below. IATF OEM means those 11 OEMs which we have seen in the slide. The slides you can refer later on. Okay, so if there is any quality or delivery issue with those IATF OEM, CB has to provide additional time for auditing those issues. And how much that additional time will be, the table is clearly mentioned over there. Okay, if you have a number of employees less than 500, if there is a problem with 1 or 2 IATF OEMs, 4 hours are sufficient. 3 or more IATF OEMs, 6 hours are sufficient. And this is how that table you will have to read. The additional audit time shall be used to verify the effective implementation of the systemic corrective actions associated with the IATF OEM quality and or delivery targets that are not being met and the associated risk to similar processes and or products. Failure by the client to supply the required data, additional 2 hours to be added to the audit. If you do not provide this particular data to certification agency prior to the audit, okay, another 2 hours will be audited. Whenever I'm talking about additional hours, naturally, those will be additionally charged by the certification agency other than your contracted amount. Where it is not possible to add the additional time to the current audit plan, the certification body shall conduct a special audit within 60 calendar days of the closing meeting date of the audit. In case we have to add certain audit time during the audit and auditors are not available for that particular additional period, certification body will have to audit the organization through the special audit within the 60 calendar days from the closing meeting. Now, corporate audit scheme. Corporate audit scheme, in Rule 5th, the reduction was based on the number of sites. If organizations having 2 to 9 sites, the percentage reduction in audit days was 20%. If the number of sites were 10 to 19, the percentage reduction was 30%. If the number of sites 20 and above, the percentage reduction of 40%. But in Rule 6, that is not the case. There is a reduction of 15% irrespective of any number of sites, whether it is 2 or whether it is more than 20. Okay, so the total reduction in audit days, not in the audit fees, in audit days will be 15% only. Okay, so what is corporate scheme? It shall consist of at least 2 manufacturing sites with or without an extended manufacturing site, which operate under a common quality management system. The common quality management system must, so there is a certain rule, certain requirements to qualify the organization or group under the corporate audit scheme. The first requirement is system, quality management system be established by the processes that are centrally defined, structured, and controlled. Be monitored with a common set of process measurements. Be implemented in substantially the same manner across the manufacturing. Sites and standalone remote support locations within the corporate structure being certified. Have a localization of the quality management system documentation and records only at the level of work instruction and procedures. Have a centrally managed internal quality management system audit program. In case you don't qualify these particular requirements, okay, the organization will not fall into corporate audit scheme. shall have identified central location where the quality management system function resides that is responsible by defining, structuring, and controlling the common quality management system. So that's how the corporate audit scheme is managed. Now, how much maximum audit day reduction is possible in Rule 6? If you remember the Rule 5th, maximum 50% of reduction on the audit mandates at the stage 2 audit. There are various criteria by which the days can be reduced. One of the criteria is definitely corporate audit scheme, then non-design organization. Then in case you are going for upgradation from LOC, then there was a discount available. If some organization want to upgrade from ISO 9001, there was a reduction available. So altogether 50% maximum reduction was available at that particular time. Second criteria was maximum of 50% reduction on the audit mandates, audit days at the stage 2 site used to upgrade a letter of conformance to a certificate. So those two facilities were available at that particular time through the Rule 5th. But in Rule 6th, that reduction has been reduced to 30%. So maximum of 30% reduction on the audit mandate at the stage 2 audit and maximum of 30% reduction on the audit mandate at the stage 2 site used to upgrade a letter of conformance to a certificate. When I say upgrade a letter of conformance to a certificate means it has to be conducted before your letter of conformance expired. So earlier it was 50% for both, and now it is 30% for both. So definitely it is going to increase the number of days which we are going to deliver on site. So for extended manufacturing site and onward sessions, I will hand over this session to my colleague, Jitendra. Please take it over. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Just a moment. I share my screen. I believe my screen is visible to all of you. Maisa, please confirm.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
good morning to all of you for joining this webinar. Now I am start from the extended manufacturing site. So as per the Rule 5, extended manufacturing site are located within the reasonable proximity the main manufacturing site. In Rule 6, so an extended manufacturing site shall only receive support from or provide support to main manufacturing site. In Rule 6, the clarity related to distance traveling extended manufacturing site shall be located maximum 10 miles or a maximum 16 kilometer from the main site. And another is the one clarity is coming for the related to 1 hour drive distance maximum. So now in Rule 6, the related to extended manufacturing site is too much clear. And next is the stage 1 readiness assessment. If new client is going for the initial certification for the IATF certification. So as per the earlier Rule 5, duration 1 to 2 days, planning to no timing identify between the stage 1 and stage 2, and readiness report, readiness decision, auditor decision, no independent technical review, not ready, repeat stage 1, no timing identify, and audit plan for the stage 2 and conduct the stage 2. In the Rule 6, yeah. So I believe after 15 years, now in Rule 6, there is a change in the mandate for the stage 1 that will be during in the 1.5 to 3 mandates. And this is the subject to the organization size and complexity of the processes. And stage 1 audit in now in the as per the Rule 6 in two part. Part 1 is the system structure review and another is the part 2. This is the operational review, that is also Gemba review, your soft floor uh, uh, soft floor audit. And stage 1 is subject to technical veto review, earlier was not there, and stage 2 can be conducted after 20 to 90 days. So there is a minimum 20 days and maximum is the 90 days. Earlier is also 90 days. So there is no changes for the maximum days, and now is the timeline is coming, minimum is the 20 days. After 20 days we can conduct the audit for the stage 2. If stage 1 is not ready, then after 20 days stage 1 can be repeated, and stage 1 is now entered into IATF database, and earlier that was not entered in IATF database. Next is related to the automotive process approach, and you are more familiar about the automotive process approach. So there is some sliding just. So the automotive process approach, a manner that continuously obtain, analyze, and synthesize data and the information to the automotive process approach incorporate customer risk and performance orientation and a focus on plan, do, check, act, PDCA cycle. Apply for a special audit or an audit conducted and a standalone remote support location. So audit in audit, automotive process approach is apply for the all audit. The automotive process approach in a manner that continuously obtain, analyze, and synthesize and prioritization and adjust audit trace within the audited location process to achieve the audit objective. Follow up on the identify process and the system related problem and other issue with the significant customer risk. Remote support location, the boundaries and the overall structure of the client organization with its relevant manufacturing site and standalone remote support location covered by the certification, including their associate quality management system function and relationship and how the audited location is embedded within the overall structure. So surveillance audit, allowable timing. So now as per the rule 6, as already mentioned by the Mahesh, so -3 +3 and RL activities, product design will be audited every year. So earlier in rule 5 is also there, no change from the rule 5. Other remote location activities can be audited every year, once in a 2-year based on the risk and the complexity. If any standalone remote support location within the required timing is not audited, then shall result in an initial certification audit. Using remote audit method, this is very interesting. And now in the rule 6, there is a provision. Just remote audit method may be used to include remote working employees during the on-site audit or in situation where these rule applicity state that remote auditing is permitted. In rule 6, there is a provision to do the audit remotely on for surveillance audit 2 for limited activities. Organization has to demonstrate ICT. ICT means information communication technology, that is the testing before the conduct the remote audit. And there is some few listed activities like after sale, continuous improvement, contact review, customer service, facility management, finance, HR, internal audit, management review, marketing, equipment, development, purchasing, QMS, management sales, strategic planning and training. At the certification body's discretion, remote auditing technology may be used to include indirect support location into the standalone remote support location audit. So maybe use the conduct limited scope repeated stage 1 readiness assessment, and before a remote audit commence, the certification body in cooperation with the client shall assess the remote technology suitability to enable an effective and efficient audit. So I am again repeat the stage 1 readiness assessment for the repeat that can be conducted the remotely audit. Regarding the NC management, so the now timing change. Earlier there was no clarity related to for the timing. So now this is the timing is earlier in rule 5 there was a timing is a 20 days. Now in rule 6 there is a change. Timing is change. So now is the 15 days, and you will see.
Hi, Jitendra sir.
Yes.
Jitendra sir, 1 second, sir. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but some people cannot see the screen. I don't think it's a problem for from your end. However, sir,
Okay.
if you can stop sharing your screen and share it again, maybe it can help those people.
Okay. Thank you, Naman, for giving the feedback.
Sure.
Just I go again. Yes, can you confirm, Naman?
Yes, sir. The screen is visible now.
Okay. So shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. So in rule 6, there is a timeline has been changed. Now is the 15 calendar days. If your correction action and correction action plan is not submitted as per the timing 15 days, then you can the resubmit for the next 15 days. So total is the time is the your 30 days. And about the corrective action plan, so the implementation containment action and the implemented correction, the root cause analysis, and the systematic corrective action plan to eliminate the identify root cause and the method of the identify to verify the effectiveness. And the implementation of the plan systematic corrective action, the result of verification of the effectiveness for the implementation system corrective action. And there's a new things is coming for the related to time. There was in earlier rule 5 there is no time defined for the against the non-conformity. So now this is a measure against the major NC, that is a 1 to 3 hours, that's a discretion of the auditors and the CV. And also in the case of the minor NC there is a 0.5 to 1 hour minimum. So this can be completed for the NC closure at the time of the special through the special audit, or a CV will take the additional time for the next audit. And once the special audit completed, so that will not repeat it. We cannot conduct the again audit. Just now my next slide is visible to you.
Yes, sir. It's visible to me.
I am now I am in decertification slide. This is okay.
Yes, Jitendra, please carry on. If
Okay,
we face
thank you,
any
thank you.
problem, we will tell you.
Okay, thank you. So this is the decertification and suspension. So there is a rule. Now rule has been changed. Earlier in the rule 5, if you not conduct the audit as per the allowable timeline, so there is some suspension provision and we can conduct the after the 3 months. Now this is the remove failure to conduct surveillance audit within the required timing to supply required information for the audit planning and providing data for the audit planning. There was earlier also, if client is not submitted pre-data on timely, so there is a mechanism for the decertification or suspension. A special audit shall be conducted only once the for the NC closure. So we cannot go for the repeated if any special audit conducted for the against the corrective action verification against the major NC. So if this NC management did not comply as per the requirement, so then the client will go for the start from the initial, and that the responsibility of the certification body in the update in the IATF database within the 7 calendar days. So now I'm request to Naman, you can create the poll 3.
Yes, I'm just going to share the poll now. You can see it in your screen. Now you could see the poll on your screen.
Yes,
I will
is visible to
give
me.
around 30 seconds for you to record your response.
Yes, Naman.
Yes, sir. So 38% people said they want to hear about the IATF certification. 33% people want to know about IATF training. Around 16% people are interested in purchasing the IATF 16949 standard, and around 7% do not want anything, and 6% would be interested in something else.
Okay.
So thank you everyone for your response.
Okay.
I will be closing the poll now, sir.
So we have covered the all highlighted and specification which are related to in the Rule 6 changes. Now ask us anything. So just Naman, again you have request to for the put the questions in the Q&A section.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Jitendra. That was incredibly insightful. Now, just to make this webinar more engaging, we would like to take up a few questions from the audience from the chat. So I have, sir, there is one question in the chat which I can see, in which someone has asked, does this mean the audit which used to take 2 days earlier will now not be more than 10 hours? Would any of you like to please answer that question?
Okay, so that is a good question. And basically earlier in Rule 5, there was a 1 hour is the fix for the pre-data verification, and including the previous NC verification, so that we exceed for the greater than to 10 hour. That is the possibilities. So now in Rule 6, this is a very clear. Now 1 hour is eliminated, and 10 hour only we can conduct the audit on a one with the one audit in a day.
I
The next question.
I hope that answers your question. 1 second. I'm just checking the chat for other questions. There is. Yes. So I would urge everyone to please write your questions in the Q&A box.
There are certain questions in the chat as well, Naman. So you have to go through the chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, sir.
You can
1
take one by
second.
one.
Yes. So there is one question which says, is there time allotted per process audit?
Okay, this is a question time allotted per process, and that's a depend on the automatic process approach. And this slide is covering the synthesis of the data and the prioritization of the data. So that is a depend on the auditor how to prioritize the process. So with subject to your the performance, your KPI, your internal audit, your all things. So with subject to
Jitendra,
this your performance.
that question may be related to manufacturing process audit. The earlier requirement
I think again you can read
or
Naman.
33% of the total audit.
Sure.
This is a timing. I think this is especially asked.
They're just asking if the process, there is a timing in the process audit.
Timing
I'm
in
not
the
sure what
process.
that means.
So
There, however, sir, there
no
is
issue,
another
Naman.
interesting question.
I can also clear. This is a 30% we will use in the manufacturing process. This is the minimum, and with subject to the prioritization if it is required, so that we can be addition with the 30% in manufacturing process. Other processes with subject to the based on the performance of the organization.
All right, so I hope that answers your question. There is another interesting question in the Q&A box which says, as per earlier version of rules, CB was not allowed to conduct any in-house training at their IATF certified sites or even at their group company. Does the rule stay same now as well? We want to take our trainings from BSI.
That is a very good question. So in Rule 6, there is some mechanism. We cannot conduct for the in-house training for the IATF, ISO. There is some few standard is allowed. That is ISO 27001, and that is a listed. So you can write to Naman. Raman will reply. What is the we have take the in our account for the this training. So there is some listed. We cannot conduct the in-house training for the IATF, ISO.
ISO means ISO 9001.
ISO 9001 and 2015, yes.
Yeah.
Mahisha, do you have anything to add to this question?
Yeah, rest of the standards can be covered. But Rule 6 clearly specifies which all standards are there. For example, ISO 14001, 27001. Okay, but definitely for IATF 16949 and ISO 9001, we still cannot conduct in-house training. However, the client or the candidates from the client end can attend our public batches.
Naman, you are in mute.
Naman, you are
Hello,
not audible.
Naman,
You are on
you are.
mute.
Yes, now it's okay.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was facing issues with my mic. So there is another question which is from Good Luck. That is, if we want our extended site to convert to main site, stage one is required. Do you have any comments on that?
Yes, yes. Answer is yes.
Okay, perfect. There is another question, sir, which is, can we, one second, from on the chat, which asks, can we download and keep a copy of IATF Rule 6 from the internet directly, or will we have to purchase it? Question from Jyoti.
Okay, okay. So you cannot download it from anywhere. This is a copyright, so you have need to purchase from the IATF sites.
All right, Jyoti, I hope that answers your question. Thank you, sir. There is another question which says, what is the maximum distance between main site to extended site?
So this is that 16 kilometer, 16.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I hope that answers your question. There is another question, sir, which is, hello, sir. If we submit our NC response earlier and it's closed by CB within 60 days, can IATF TR also provide decision in advance? Thanks.
This is the maximum time for the 60 days is only for the minor non-conformity, and if client is received for the major non-conformity, there is a timeline is the 15 days with the submission of the cap with the systematic root cause and the corrective action plan. Then major NC always close with the special audit by conducting the special audit, and if you submit the prior to 60 days, that is acceptable by the CB.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much for your answer. There's another question which says, to which items of Rule 6 we need to pay attention as client during audit preparation? So if you can answer that.
Okay, the good questions. And there is a one things, this is related to submission of the pre-data. This is the one things, there is a timeline fix as Mahesh conveyed through the one presentation. So there is a 30 days is the minimum. And in VSI, there is a system we can send to information along with our planning with the, there is a one specific document with the PF 2091, and you will get the communication through the, our planner when you have need to submit. So we have the fixed 45 to 30 to 45 days. 30 days is very minimum, and the maximum is the 45 days. This is the one of the things, and you have need to take care for the second point is the for the timeline of the audit. Now is the -3 and +3. Earlier there was the mechanism in the rule 5, we can go for the suspension and the conduct the audit again. But in the if you have not conducted the audit as per the allowable time, so it means your certificate has been withdrawn, and that will updated in the within 7 days, as I confirm in my slide.
Thank you so much for your input, sir. There is another question, which is, someone asked, is it mandatory to keep the copy of the IATF 169496th edition?
Answer is no.
Okay. So, sure, so thank you. There is another question which says, is it possible that IATF technical reviewer review in advance and provide decision and judgment within 90-day period if the NC management was closed and completed by CB?
As per the rule, this is a 90, which subject to the if there is an urgency and we can take the prioritize and we can take in the fast track, so that is possible.
Okay. So there's another question, which is someone wants to know the timeline between LOC and certification audit.
LOC and certifications, LOC is only given for the 12 months, 1 year. The LOC validity is only for the 1 year. If you have the, there is a LOC, there is a two things. Either you have not automotive customer, or either you have not, you have a customer but you have not a automotive data, so you have applied for the LOC. Once you have achieved the for the certification eligibility, then you have need to conduct audit within 12 months. So there is also some discount mandates is also available as per IATF rule.
Thank you so much, sir. Someone asked if there are any major changes in IATF 16949 clauses. Since we have some time, sir, a brief comment on that would be helpful.
Okay. This is the again the appreciate for this question. So in 2026, now the ISO 9001 2015 is going on the 2025 for the some review, some updation. As this is the base standard is ISO 9001 for the IATF. So now IATF is you will that is the approval and the some review in the 2026 in the Q1. The draft copy will come. So there is a next year IATF will change in 2026.
All right, sir. Thank you. There is another question. Mr. Omkar Nath Singh asks, any special approval is there if anything missed within stipulated time?
Okay, so this is the with subject to due to CV has no authorized to take the approval. This is the subject to our oversight and the justification is valid. So with subject to is the SMT oversight. Our oversight office is SMT. So this is a depend on the situation, depend on the justification, why is delay. So this is the answer. Not CV is not authorized to take the waiver.
All right, sir. Mr. Omkar, I hope that answers your question. Another question is in the chat box which says, please let us know what type of document we have to submit before the IATF 16949 audit.
Okay, so you will receive the mail from the BSI with the along with the there is a one of the document PF 2091. There is a section you have need to submit. Earlier you are submitted the PF 855. Now is converted into PF 2091. There is some portion. This is you have need to give the input related to your KPI, related to your automotive customer, related to your internal audit, related to your MRM. Then this you will submit the data back to the auditor, back to the auditor via same mail, and auditor will review and then he will send to the PF 857. This is our so now PF 857 is no longer for the from the 1st April. Now the document this is the PF 2091. New document is the PF 2091. That is the responsibility of the CV. So you will receive through the mailer from our planner.
This PF number is basically related to BSI. Those clients who are not with BSI, their respective certification agency will have a different format number, but the content will remain same because it's a rules requirement.
Yes, thank you, my sir.
Thank you, Mahesh sir. Thank you, Jitendra sir. Another question. It asks when all SIs will be included in standard or any possibility of standard revision.
Okay.
So
So SI for the SI, you can go for the IATF website. So this is the coming in the IATF website. In the previous all SIs is now incorporated in the rule in rule 6. So just for the updated, you have need to visit. You have the registered yourself for the update for the SI. Whenever SI will arrive, you will get the automatic notification from the IATF.
Normally, whether it is rules or standard, whenever they are upgrading the standards or rules, they will include all those SIs in that particular version. So as Jitendra has mentioned, IATF 16949 is can be re-released in 2026 or 2027. Okay, not sure, but whenever it will be done, all the SIs will be incorporated into the as a part of rule.
Okay, thank you for your input, sir. There is one last question that I think we can entertain, which is in IATF, CARA date visible for auditor submission. Jitendra sir, do you understand what it means?
CARA. Just you can again. Just I'm understanding CARA date for the related
In
to some NC
IATF,
management.
is CARA date visible for auditor submission?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, sir. I think there's there's many more questions in the chat box, but I don't think we can take all of them right now. I would encourage all of you to please check out this survey form in the chat box if you require your questions to be answered. Either way, we will try to answer all your questions via email. If you please write down your questions in the chat box, and we can definitely try to get back. We can
Naman,
ask
we
our
have
experts
time
to
till
get back at you.
Naman, this webinar is up to 12:30. We have time, I guess.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. We can
Yes, so
continue to take
we
more
can take
questions.
questions. We can
So
take
you
questions.
you can take.
Yeah, yeah.
You're sure, sir. Sure. Let me just check the chat once. So there's a question. It's asking by when is this sixth rule implemented?
Okay, okay. So this rule 6 is implemented from the 1st January 2025, and there is some gradually ramp up and the transition for the rule 5 to rule 6. So 1st April is committed by the certification body to the oversight office. So this is a fully implemented from the 1st April 2025.
Perfect, sir. Someone's asking, is there a defined timeline for surveillance audit and recertification audit?
Yes, -3 and +3. This is for the surveillance, and -3 +0 is for the recertification. So once if you have not conducted the recertification within -3, so then again your certificate has been withdrawn, and that to updated in IATF database within 7 days, and you will start audit from the initial stage 1 and stage 2.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question is there any requirement of PF 2091 submission for every surveillance audit?
Yes, yes. Answer is yes. This is applicable for the stage 2. This is applicable for surveillance. This is applicable for transfer. And there is also in our BSI document 2091A and V. This is also single standalone remote support location. And there is 3 type of documents. So answer is yes. This is required for each audit. Stage 2
Thank you
and
so much
surveillance and
again, sir.
recertification.
There is someone who's not able to understand 0.5 man-day offsite audit planning is for what?
Okay,
Could you please shed light on that, sir?
that's a good question. So just for the understanding, there is before the coming the auditor at your client side, at your site for conduct the audit, there is many activities need to take the data review and all things. So now in the rule 6, this is a mandatory requirement. There's a planning SMO. It means this auditor is assigned to for your review your data and the sending the PF 857 means audit plan to you. So now this is becoming mandatory, and that's why 0.5 means 4 hour is mandatory to utilize by the auditor and conduct these activities to compliance this rule 6 requirement.
I hope that answers your question. Next question is, can BSI do pre-assessment and final certification audit?
Pre-assessment, no. As per the rule 6.
Pre-audit is not allowed by the rule 6, so we cannot conduct pre-audit. So we can directly go for stage 1 and stage 2 audit or the transfer audit or the routine surveillance audit. No pre-audit is allowed as per rule 6.
Thank you so much, sir. There is another question, which is, please, someone wants us to conclude the main changes of 6th edition, which we need to focus as auditees. If you could briefly shed light on that, it would be great.
This whole webinar is the complete related to audit cycle, related to your corporate discount, related to the remote auditing. So every slide is having a related to auditing. So this content is only directly related to clients to understand. So all are applicable for the auditing.
Exactly. If you look at all the slides, we can summarize like that. First, the window has been changed for surveillance. It is -3 +3. Surveillance frequency has been changed to only 12 months now. Earlier it was 3 months and 9 months. Recertification window remains same For corporate scheme, the requirements are changed, which will definitely directly impact the clients. Rule is same. Again, you need to have two sites at least to eligible for the corporate. But the discount, which was actually discount on the audit date, which was actually based on the number of sites, it's not there now. It's completely flat, 15% audit discount on audit days. It is there. So these are the two changes which are directly impacting. And the other changes, which is related to the extended manufacturing site, the exact parameter was not defined in Rule 5th, though it was defined in Rule 4th. It was not defined in Rule 5th. So we saw that there were a lot of deviations taken by the clients as well as certification agencies, and that's why they now restricted it to the certain number of kilometers. Okay, and the entire requirements has been clarified. The rules regards to the NC management has been clarified. Earlier it was 20 days, now it is 15 days. Okay, and it is very clear. Okay, but again, somebody asked the question whether it is mandatory to have that copy of IATF Rule 6. Okay, it's not mandatory, but definitely it's desired. Because you should not be dependent upon what CB is talking, what auditor is talking. You should know your own rules so that you will be able to follow. And definitely, if you go through the rule book, you will come to know what exactly auditor is asking. Okay. Normally, last time we have seen that the clients were 100% depend upon what CB is saying or auditor is saying. Okay. So I think the way we are going through the IATF 16949 standards requirement, my request is desirable request is that you should have the copy of IATF 16949 Rule 6 so that you will come to know which are the rules which are directly impacting you. Because there are a lot of if, buts, and the rules are changes now. This time, Rule 6 is very, very specific about the timelines of various stages. Okay. It's very difficult, even if we summarize, very difficult to remember. I think, Naman, these slides are available. This presentation is also available for the people to refer, and it has been recorded. You can go through that. But other than that, also on this particular platform, if you ask any question, we are available.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure that answered a lot of questions. There is also a very interesting question by a couple of people. They want to know the process to change their certification body in IATF.
Okay. Okay.
So,
There
yes, sir,
in
please
as
go
per
ahead.
the IATF rule, there is a mechanism that is called in the transfer audit. And prior to transfer audit, you have need to check the transfer eligibility. This is the there is some process for the CB process to check the transfer eligibility, and also required for the last 3 years reports, last 3 year your audit plan, last year 3 years NC management. Then once we have get the clearance from the our oversight office for the transfer eligibility is okay, and there's a 99% is coming is okay, and then we have need to conduct the one document review audit, and then the mandate is as per the RA recertification audit, that is equivalent for the recertification audit. So as per the commercial, there is no impact for the commercial for the conduct this transfer audit, or you have wished to change the certification body, so there is no issue as per the commercial aspects. So is it this is possible? You can change your certification body.
All right, sir. Mr. Abhijit has asked, can we get the pre-assessment done from any competent unauthorized agency?
We can't comment
Yes,
on
yes.
that. We can't comment on that whether should, because competency, if those are competency, how you are going to define that? But you can do that through the organizations which is actually accredited for IATF 16949, but definitely they can't do the final audit. Am I right, Jitendra?
Yes, yes, you are right. You are absolutely right.
Absolutely, sir. So someone asked, is sustainability chapter added with the standard? If added, is there any target?
Answer is
Yeah,
yes,
it will
yes.
be revealed in when the standard will be released in 2026, 2027. It may take time, but definitely there will be some insights about this sustainability. As all of you are aware that even in ISO 9001, they have added certain attachments with related to that. So definitely, as IATF 16949 is depend upon or is developed based on the ISO 9001 framework, there will be something. But when that is going to release, finger crossed.
Perfect,
And
sir. Thank you
just
so
I
much.
want
I hope
to
that answers your question.
add one thing, and this is also subject with the CSR, customer specific requirement. Some IATF OEM has given the target for the related to some sustainability. So this is, you can also refer for your customer requirement.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. There is another question, which is CQI assessments are mandatory or it's based on CSR only?
This is based on the CSR, and so BSI can conduct the which client is not certified with the BSI, so we can conduct the CQI audit for that supplier.
All right, sir. There is a question by Mr. Sankar Venkat. As per new rule, is document review required prior to transfer audit? If so, what is the duration of document review?
So yes, answer is yes. There is a minimum duration is 0.5 man day. If required, that's a depend on the 1 man day also.
All right, sir. So most of the other questions are repetitive, and I think most of these questions have already been answered during the Q&A and during the presentation. So I think we should focus on concluding the webinar and give our audience their 15 minutes back.
Okay.
I would like to really thank you for this insightful session. And I hope that our clients and the external people who joined this webinar, are going home with the relevant knowledge. And in case you have any other questions, please do reach out to us. There is a survey feedback form which is pinned to the chat box. If you can, we would really appreciate if you can provide feedback to us on that. And we'll only be able to contact you and address your queries after you fill that feedback form. So I would really encourage you all to spare 1 minute and share your feedback. I think with this, I would like to conclude the session. So thank you, everyone. Your feedback would definitely help us improve future sessions. And we hope to see you all again. And have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, Naman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jitendra.
Thank you,
Thank you
sirs.
all for
Thank you.
attending it. And we're always available to resolve your queries. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks to all for joining this seminar.